Is your Instagram account not growing? If so, please listen to these 4 steps. I promise it's gonna help you. Step number 1.
Everybody will tell you you need a community on Instagram, and I agree, but I know you guys want to know how to actually grow your following, so let's dive in. My name is Emily and I've been a full-time influencer for over 8 years now, and I've helped dozens of creators grow their communities and make full-time living from their content. And I have to preface what I'm about to say by saying you do not need a big following to land consistent brand deals. But if you've got a small community and a small page, or you've been stagnant for a while, here's how you can grow your Instagram following account without trying to go viral and making sure you're still attracting a targeted community. First thing you have to do, and this kind of goes without saying, but you need a Reels first posting strategy. Reels are 100% the best way to reach a new audience on Instagram, but you need to be posting other content formats as well. So what does a Reels first posting strategy mean? My advice to my students is come up with your reel idea first, and then think about ways you can take that one idea and diffuse it into like a carousel post and a static post as well, or a shorter form reel if you're doing a long form reel. That way you're showing your followers and brands that you're not just a one-trick pony, you can actually create good static content as well, and you're nurturing other people in your audience at the same time. Secondly, you need to be making multiple edits of the same piece of content. I can't tell you how many times I've posted a reel and it's kind of flopped, and then I've done the same idea in a different reel format and it's performed amazingly. If you're posting the same type of content or reels over and over again, you're not going to understand what edits or formats work best for you as a creator. And finally, you need to be mastering the art of on-screen text. Putting text on screen could be the difference between 100 views or 100,000 views, and text on screen is going to give the viewer context of what your actual reel is about. Say for example, you make a reel and you put the on-screen text, "Come grocery shopping with me." Fine, it gives context, but what if you did this? POV, you're in your restocking your fridge every Sunday to set yourself up for the week era. Now this makes everything so much more relatable instantly and relevant to your audience because they are able to see themselves in your content and it's no longer one-sided. Also, not forgetting that most people watch reels in silence, so if you've got text on screen, then you're going to hook them in more. Another great tip is to just read more in caption, and that can direct people to the caption where you can expand on what you're saying. So please start playing around with your edits, being consistent, and using on-screen text to drive more traffic and engage more viewers. And I promise you, you will see results. I spill all my insider knowledge from 8 years of being an influencer, so if you're a content creator, a micro-influencer, or you want to be one, make sure you're following along.
How I grew my Instagram followers from 0 to 10,000 in 3 months using Manifestation. I'm going to do the same on this platform, and I can't wait to watch it grow. So from the beginning, I acted as if I had thousands of followers, even when I had 2, like my mom. And I would get on my stories and I would act like I was talking to thousands of people. I acted like they were hanging off my every word. While I was doing this, I was affirming 100 people follow me every day. All my posts go viral. Everyone watches my stories. And for the first month, nothing happened. I posted 3 times a day. I was consistent. I showed up. I kept acting as if, and I didn't look at my reality. I wanted to give up because I felt like nothing was working. But every time you want to give up, keep freaking going. Because what happened next is everything started to snowball and I started gaining 100 followers a day, just like I had affirmed to myself. All my posts started going viral. People started watching my stories and I started getting clients. And within 3 months, I had 10,000 followers. This works like magic. I'm going to use it on this app. Give it a try and let me know what you think.
I'm not talking nitty gritty of Instagram growth. I'm talking the basics on how to get your account off the ground. So number 1 right off the bat is just make sure your content that you're posting is varied. Don't post like a million pictures just of your face because that's just boring. So make sure it's like, it can be a selfie, pictures of you and your friends. You can post landscape pictures, pictures of flowers, whatever you want, truly. I personally don't post more filler pictures because no one really cares for this on my page. So mine always have me in it. People will engage with photos of humans more often. And if you can, also try and mix it up between photos and videos. Number 2 is definitely utilize hashtags. You do not need to do any deep hashtag research into what hashtags are absolutely perfect. Just use 5 to 10 that come to mind when you're looking at the photo or about your account. Number 3 is to try and have a story up every single day so that you never have an expired story. I do this for a number of reasons. 1, having that ring around your profile picture makes it a little bit more noticeable. And also, if you are trying to use Instagram as a dating app, it will absolutely help with conversation starters. If someone else sees your profile, they can respond to your story. It also just helps people know that you're active on Instagram so they can message you there. Number 4 is to follow other people or accounts that are similar to you. So if you like posting about fashion or makeup or nature, I would follow a few people each day within that category for a bit and see who kind of follows you back, if they like your content, if you're posting similar things. Some people probably will end up following you back, but do stay away from follow trains or like for like kind of stuff because that will kill your engagement, and then nothing you post will be pushed to the explore page. Number 5 is do your best to utilize Reels. I'm in a flop era right now in Reels, so I'm not really posting many, but it did help my account grow a lot when I was initially posting a good amount. Another one is the quality of what you're posting. We don't want to see like a dark grainy photo, and we also don't want to see an over photoshopped filtered photo either. So somewhere in the middle is my preference. Obviously Gen Zers will be posting whatever they want in photo dumps, but for me personally, when I was using Instagram as a dating app, I found it better to post, more quality photos, whether it's of me or me and friends or that kind of stuff. And I absolutely had my phase of heavily filtered Lightroom presets. They make me cringe now. And last one is just the posting amount. Again, I did say like as long as you post once a month, that's good for using it as a dating app. But if you do want to grow followers, I would post maybe 4 to 5 times a week if you can. I know that can be a lot for some people. Honestly, right now it's a lot for me. So I post like once a week. So, whatever works for you, do that. Again, these are just tips to get you kind of started, get the ball rolling. Once you get past like a certain number of followers, it really gets into the nitty gritty of the Instagram algorithm. So this is to get you started. So good luck. Let me know if you have more questions.
So you want more followers on Instagram. It's not going to be easy, but follow these next steps. Find a hashtag your ideal customer is using. Go to that hashtag and start commenting and liking on the top 9 posts. If you like what you see, go to that person's profile and engage more.
You're forcing people not to follow you on Instagram. I know you want more Instagram followers, don't we all? But your bio is the first red flag that's making people not hit that follow button. Instead of just a row of emojis, you need to add more value. Here's how. Use words in your bio to describe how you help people and what they'll get out of following you. Give them something you want and they'll give you what you want right back. A new follower.
If you want to grow on Instagram but don't know where to start, here are 3 easy things you can do to start growing your following on Instagram. Number 1 would be to engage with other content creators. Other content creators know how hard it is to grow, so if you support them, they'll support you back. Number 2 is using hashtags. People don't realize how important it is to use hashtags. That's how you're going to hit the explore page, and that's how so many more accounts are going to find you. And number 3 is to cross-promote on other social medias. So share your Instagram photos to TikTok, share your Instagram photos to Pinterest, YouTube, wherever you can. If you start doing this straight away now, you watch your following grow by thousands, I promise you.
I'm gonna apply this to Instagram, and this is how we would recommend growing your Instagram following. 1, post Reels. And I know some people don't really love it, but that's what's gonna get you the most reach. Reels algorithm works a little bit different than static posts because there's the Reels tab, and that's where you're gonna see people that you don't already follow. Be active on your stories. That kind of helps you gauge what your audience wants to see. So when you're active on your stories and you're getting clicks on your stories, you're getting more responses on what you're talking about, that's a good indication that your audience is interested in that and you can bring it over to the grid. 3, just engage regularly. Engage with other accounts similarly in your niche. Engage with people who are in the comments. Respond to all of your comments. Respond to your DMs. Let people know that you want to have that conversation with them.
I woke up tomorrow with 0 followers and I wanted to hit 10,000 followers before the holidays and I only had to focus on one thing. This is exactly what I would do. And before y'all say, who the heck is this girl? I've gained 10,000 followers on Instagram in 60 days and you guys can do the exact same. Let's get into it. So the number 1 thing that I would prioritize on Instagram to get me from 0 to 10,000 followers before the end of the year is focusing on watch time. So that is the amount of time that someone watches your video, which we ideally always want it to be the entire length of the video, if not longer. So they're watching it 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, multiple times over is ideally what we want. So how do we do this and how do we ensure that everyone who sees our video stays to the end of our video? So here are my top 3 tips and tricks to increasing watch time on your videos to take you to that 10,000 followers before the end of the year. So the first one is going to be a hook, a strong hook, but not just one hook. 3 hooks in every single one of your videos. I know this sounds crazy, but this is honestly what separates people from getting 200 views on Instagram to getting 20,000 views on Instagram. So what you're gonna wanna do is have a visual hook. So maybe you're applying lip balm in the beginning of your video, maybe you're sitting down in a chair, maybe you're closing a door, you're just doing some sort of movement on screen to stop the scroll and catch the person's attention who's watching your video right off the bat. The second hook you wanna have is a verbal hook. So what are you saying within the first few seconds of your video? Is it the audio? Maybe there's a beat drop coming in. There has to be something audible that catches the viewer's attention and stops the scroll, which is so key here. And the third one is going to be a textual hook. So you have your title on the top of your screen, maybe you have a question or a funny emoji or something on screen other than your movement, which is you or whatever's in your video, to really capture the attention. Like, what can you get someone to read for 3 seconds that gets them intrigued into your video? So that is so key. Having 3 hooks in every single video, that is a non-negotiable to increasing your watch time. And the second tip for increasing watch time is going to be pattern interruption. So we know that people have such short attention spans. So how do you get people to stay for your 10-second video, your 2-minute video? Like, how do you get people to stay and watch it? And you want to interrupt their pattern. So maybe they get bored 5 seconds into your video after you had that really, really good strong hook using the 3 hook method. So what you want to do is interrupt their pattern and their mindless scrolling behavior. So I would say, as a rule of thumb, every 2 to 5 seconds, have something new on screen. Maybe you're cutting to a different screen. Maybe you're zooming in. Maybe you're putting an emoji up on screen. Maybe you're asking a question in the text. Maybe you have another beat drop. There has to be something that intrigues the viewer to stay for another few seconds of your video. And you have to be doing this every few seconds if you want to have a good video. And the last one is value-driven content. And value doesn't mean educational. That is so important. Value could be giving someone a laugh. Value could be just sharing your story. Value is so much more than just giving tips and tricks, but make sure your content has a reason for the viewer to stay and watch it to the end. Posting content that no one wants to see and that's not valuable in some sense, obviously no one's going to stay to the end of it. So you need to figure out what's valuable and what people want to see in your niche. I have a few other videos in my page that go into how to find trending content in your niche, how to find what people are looking for. You go back 2 or 3 videos, I have a whole website that's free to use that gives you like the top 30 questions and topics that people in your niche are searching for, so you can create content around that.
Is your Instagram account not growing? If so, please listen to these 4 steps. I promise it's going to help you. Step number 1, engage with new accounts, not just people who are already following you. One of the best ways to do this is to engage with people in your community. You've probably seen sponsored posts either from people you follow or brands, like this one. Step 2 is find these sponsored posts. Step 3 is to head to the like. Step 4 is to engage with the people that are liking these posts. Because if you are being targeted by these ads, the other people who are also being targeted share similar interests. So this is an easy way to find people who are like you and people who might like your content as well.